So when you hear the word stock market, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's a casino for the super rich, a place full of greed and chaos. But what if the very same market was the reason we got a COVID vaccine in record time? Today, we're going to look past the headlines and uncover what the stock market is really all about. Let's get into it. And yeah, let's be real. These are the big ones, right? These are the criticisms you hear all the time, that the market is just this giant betting game completely detached from our actual lives. It's a powerful story. And you know what? There's some truth to it. But is that really it? Is the stock market just a playground for the rich to get richer? Or is there something more fundamental, something really important hiding behind all that noise? To figure that out, we have to look past the chaotic images of traders yelling on Wall Street. We need to get back to basics. What is the stock market actually for? Okay, so if you strip away all the complexity, it's actually pretty simple. It's a meeting place. On one side, you've got companies with huge ideas, new inventions, big plans to grow. And on the other side, you have people and institutions with savings. Regular people, pension funds, all looking for a good place to invest their money. The market, it's just the bridge that connects the two. So, if the market is a bridge, what actually gets built because of it? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about numbers on a screen. We're talking about huge, real-world impact. Let me give you a perfect example from just a couple of years ago. Remember BioNTech? They had the amazing science behind a COVID-19 vaccine. But science alone can't build giant factories or run clinical trials all over the world. They needed billions of dollars, and they needed it like yesterday. Where did that money come from? It was raised on the financial markets. That access to capital is what let them scale up at a truly incredible speed. Without it, who knows how long we would have waited. And look, this isn't some one-off story. So many of the companies that shape our world, from tech giants like Apple and Tesla to the companies leading the charge in renewable energy, they all relied on the market at critical moments to get the funding they needed to grow and change the world. Okay, I get it. We've talked about the good stuff, the life-saving vaccines, the cool tech, but what about the dark side? What about all that speculation and manipulation you always hear about? Well, to understand that, we have to make a really important distinction. Just think of the market as a tool, a hammer, for example. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use it to break a window. The hammer itself isn't good or bad. It's all about how it's used. The market's real purpose, its building a house function, is to fund innovation and get money to the most promising ideas. But that very same tool can be misused for breaking windows, things like wild short-term speculation or market manipulation that don't really add any value to society. And this really nails the core idea, doesn't it? The market itself isn't moral or immoral. It's just a really powerful tool. Its impact, for better or for worse, just comes down to how people decide to use it. This analogy just makes so much sense. I mean, we don't get rid of all doctors and hospitals because of medical malpractice, right? Of course not. We create rules and we hold people accountable. It's the exact same logic here. You fix the problems without throwing away the whole tool. Now, what's really fascinating is that investors themselves are starting to think this way more and more. We're seeing a massive shift in how people are choosing to use this tool. And this is not some small niche trend. We are talking about an unbelievable amount of money. Back in 2020, over $35 trillion were in so-called socially responsible investments. That is a seismic shift, and it's being driven by regular people demanding more. So what even is it? Well, to put it simply, it's about putting your money where your mouth is. It's about using your investments to vote for the kind of world you actually want. Investors are now actively choosing to fund companies that share their values, ones with great environmental records or fair labor practices, and they're pulling money away from industries they see as harmful. They're not just asking, is this company profitable? They're asking, is this company making the world a better place? It's about using the market's power to fund the next biotech. So, if investors are starting to change their tune, what does that mean for the market overall? Who's ultimately responsible for making sure this incredibly powerful tool is used for good? So here's the bottom line. The market is a neutral tool. It's basically a giant amplifier. It takes the values, the priorities, and the decisions of all of us, and it makes them bigger. And what that means is that its character, its very nature, is a shared responsibility. It's a team effort. You need regulators, the referees, to make and enforce fair rules. You need companies, the players, to focus on creating real, long-term value, not just a quick buck. And you need investors, that's all of us, to consciously choose where our money goes. When you put all the pieces together, you start to see that the question we began with might have been the wrong one all along. It's not about making some simple judgment, like good or bad. The real issue is about our collective choices. The market is going to be whatever we decide to make it. Its power can be used to fund the future or to fuel speculation. And that choice depends entirely on us. So the next time you hear about the stock market, just remember it's not some abstract thing that happens far away. It is a direct reflection of our collective choices. And the most important question isn't whether it's good or bad. It's what kind of future do we want to build with it?